Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, Jordan Cool Clark.
Main event time right now, and it features Jordan Clark and JT Schulte. Pretty exciting matchup here. Jordan Cool Clark, who fights out of Pura Vida Gym, which is located in Milwaukee, taking on JT Schulte, a chosen few fighter. And what do we know about the guys over at Pura Vida who are making their first foray into the activities here tonight?
Yeah, this is a fight that has been on the radar for us over at First Warning MMA Report, for the other fans, you know, in media outlets here in the state. This is Pura Vida versus Chosen Few, two of the top gyms that have consistently put fighters to that next level. I mean, you got Mark Lemminger, Dante Sciro, Alex Gilpin, Alex Polizzi, Cole Williams going to the next level. Flip the coin, you go over to Pura Vida, you got Leah Letson, Montel Jackson, you got O'Day Osborne, Zach Otto, Alden Cunningham, who's now at Chosen Few. Getting these guys to that next level. Jordan Clark is one of their top young prospects. Schulte is one of Chosen Few's top young prospects. You know, it's 2-2 versus 1-0, both similar strengths. I'm really interested to see how this plays out.
Absolutely. Jordan Clark again coming in 1-0, fresh off of his pro debut, a wrestling background as well as JT Schulte has. So should be a very interesting matchup, as he looks very excited to be here, and he's got some backers of his own that have come on over as Clark all set to go. Let's take a look now at JT Schulte.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, fighting out of the blue corner, JT Schulte.
Few fighters in combat sports are as chiseled as JT Schulte, who continues to get more and more ink every time that I see him. The body is covered up a little bit more by some ink and making him look tougher and tougher. Wow, the whole back now completely covered for Schulte as he goes all the way to the top of the card. I remember when I first saw him make his debut so many Chosen Fews ago. But Schulte now has made his way from the bottom to the top of the card, and Schulte is one tough customer, especially as a wrestler. But don't let that fool you, Peter. He can throw some heavy hands.
Yeah, he's not afraid to play punch face with anybody. So JT Schulte, as you said, he started off in the amateur ranks all the way to the main event, and that's fun to see, because you see in this sport there's a lot of people that'll take a fight or two and don't stick with it, and there's no harm, no foul in that. JT Schulte is a true professional. He's a guy that wants to make it to the highest leagues, and so does Jordan Clark. So right now, somebody is going to, you know, elevate themselves. Someone's going to get derailed a little bit. It's interesting to see who's going to be.
Should be an exciting fight coming up here in our main event. Let's go up to
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by TNT Window Tinting. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 154 pounds, holds a record of 1 victory against no defeats. Fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, representing Pura Vida, Jordan Cool Clark. Standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 155 pounds, holds a record 2 victories against 2 defeats. Fighting out of Madison, Wisconsin, representing Chosen Few Gym, JT Schulte.
Schulte and Clark ready to go. Reynolds and Johannes ready to go as well. We are cage side here for our main event, the final fight of a 14-fight night here at Monona Terrace. Crowd is ready as well. They are just about at full throat as the fighters meet in the center of the cage, and we are away for our main event this evening. Both guys kind of feeling each other out here early on as our first kick of the night. A pretty good one there by Schulte, spinning Clark around.
Clark felt that one. This is just, both guys have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. And Schulte's such an explosive athlete. You don't want to get hit with one of those big bombs. Clark in early on trying to get a takedown.
Clark with a good lead right that landed and then tried to get the takedown. Schulte would not let him, and now going for a takedown of his own, getting hold of one leg, looking for maybe the other one. Clark trying to keep it away from Schulte, as Schulte now has a hold of both of them and is able to score the takedown, if you will. Clark looking to get back up on his feet. Schulte trying to take the back of Jordan Clark here. Schulte again with a record of 2-2 as a pro. We have seen his ups and downs over the years here in the Chosen Few Fighting Championships. Seen him get early finishes, seen him also get finished off early as well. But one thing is for sure, JT Schulte always up for a fight.
Yeah, Schulte is looking fantastic early right here. He's in a good position, obviously winning the round so far. It'll be interesting to see as if the fight goes into the second and third round, who's got the deeper cardio. I know that some people think that Clark holds an advantage in the cardio department and that Schulte will fade as the fight goes on. I'm not so sure that's necessarily true. Clark right now is getting flattened out. It's not a good position for him to be in.
Not at all, as now Schulte with a free left hand able to do some damage into the temple of Clark. Clark again flattened out and again in trouble here. Every time he does, Schulte starts raining down blows, and now the corner of Clark getting a little panicked here as they want their guy to get out of this position. He's going to have to try and scramble here as they want him to get up to mount. He's having trouble doing it.
Schulte is just so strong right now. He's fresh in the fight. He's not even broken a sweat yet.
Schulte now taking a couple of elbows as well to the side of the head. And I mean, Clark, that is. Clark in a bit of trouble here. Again, cannot get away. If this was an amateur fight, it might be over by now.
For sure.
Another right hand as, again, the referee instructing Clark. He's got to move. He's got to get out of it. Now he might have given up the neck and might be in trouble here. So I'm not sure if Schulte's got that rear naked choke in all the way.
Not quite under the neck, I don't think.
So instead he gives it up and starts in again, does Schulte with some more elbows, and now elbows to the back of the head, and they're gonna call a timeout here. Boy, I kind of thought that he was hitting him on the side of the head, but with the corner right here yelling back of the head, it almost forced the referee to cause a break here.
Yeah, it's a very tough position. He was landing elbows. The referee had warned him about the back of the head. He ate a couple more shots. I couldn't tell from my position whether they were in the back of the head or not. I know the Pure Vita corner was
Here's the
very
replay
angry
on it.
about
Look at those elbows. Kind of hard to tell from that angle, but he definitely was holding the back of his head, was Clark. And so that was good enough to stop the fight here for a second, allow Clark to go ahead and compose himself. Did a point get taken away? That's what I would like to know. I don't think so. Usually every judge is informed of that, and I did not see that happen. Now a doc is going to come in and take a look at Clark. That's a real dangerous spot to be in when you're taking shots to the back of the head.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's almost certainly going to lose the position that he was in, and he was in a dominant position. You know, the referee had warned him, you know, you got to improve position, and now they're going to go back to his feet. It's a good break for Jordan Clark, but also gives Schulte a little bit of a breather here, and Clark a little bit of a breather. So It's going to be interesting to see how Clark responds to that.
Both guys compose themselves, and here we go. The cage is closed, and Doc was assured that Clark is okay. And we still got about a minute and a half of round number 1. Schulte again going for a takedown. Looked like Clark got a shot in, but doesn't matter as he gets thrown down to the mat once again by the very strong JT Schulte.
Yeah, I mean that was a slam with authority. I think this is probably the strongest opponent that Clark has faced to date, both as far as pure strength, but also quality of opponent. This could serve as a learning experience for him.
Schulte again imposing his will on Clark here in the final minute of an interesting round number 1, one that has been dominated so far by Schulte, although Clark now looking to reverse that, but quickly Schulte is able to escape the possible knee bar or the ankle that hold that Clark had.
Schulte gets to mount right here with about 40 seconds left. This is not a good position for Jordan Clark.
Clark once again on his back, taking elbows.
Yeah, Schulte's really landing those short elbows. Those may not look like they're doing much, but those are causing cuts and so on and so forth.
Absolutely, those really hurt. You don't get to see those in amateur fighting. You see them here amongst the pros as Schulte again in a dominant position in what has been an impressive first round for JT Schulte here in tonight's main event.
10-second buzzer, Schulte in control.
And round 1 is in the books. Scheduled for 5 here from Monona Terrace, as this is Joseph Pugh Fighting Championships number 21, and this is TVW. Action from round number 1. What did you see from Schulte, Peter?
Dominance is what I saw in the first round. That would have been a 10-8 round, had they not gotten standing up. And it very well could be. We never know with the judges, right? We saw some crazy scoring earlier in the night. Certainly a 10-9 round for Schulte. But we're going to see how they look going into the second.
Clark's going to have to mount some kind of offense. Schulte really didn't take any damage at all as we go to the second round. And now Clark looking to strike a little bit more, and that is an effective strategy for Clark, who seems to have a good right hand. Then he takes a kick from Schulte, and a good one.
Clark came out and landed a few nice strikes. Schulte actually went down, popped right back up. I'd like to see Clark continue to pressure forward, let his hands go. If he can, freeze Schulte on some of those takedowns.
Yeah, that's where I think Clark might have the advantage, is doing a little boxing here straight up. Schulte with another thud of a kick. That one was blocked off by Clark, but a good job by Schulte to use those kicks and now shoot in on Clark and get another monstrous takedown.
Clark's got to, use the fence here to get back up. The more he can pop back up on these takedowns, the more tired JT will get. We're going to see if he can, maintain those takedowns for a full 3 rounds. I mean, right now he's looking great, looking dominant. Schulte's definitely got to put some hands in his face and stuff some of these takedowns.
Clark needing to find a way to get Schulte off of him, get back up into that striking position. He's not been able to do it. As you see the mount here by Schulte, and we'll see he's been able to get that right hand free, land a couple of shots. Is he going to go back to that elbow that's been so effective for him as well?
That's the other thing. This is Jordan's second pro fight. Really hasn't felt those elbows. He was victorious in his pro debut. Those are game changers when you're getting elbowed as opposed to just punched with the glove. Absolutely.
As Schulte now working on Clark here in round number 2. Main event from Monona Terrace.
And he's right in front of his corner.
Getting instructions there. Kane Rizzo, Damian Decora is there, Dante Skiro as well, all shouting out instructions for JT Schulte, looking to win here in his main event debut. That's always a big step for a fighter to take, isn't it, to see if he can carry a card. When you're up at the top of the card, you kind of become the face of the whole event. And that's where JT Schulte finds himself tonight and looking to get a victory against Clark. Clark really working hard to try and get out of this. And this has got to be wearing on Clark and his conditioning right now.
For sure, and you never know what it's doing to his confidence. I mean, he's losing 2 rounds right now for the first time, obviously, in his pro career. But, you know, this is a fight that, you know, I know he wanted very badly. He wanted to step up and fight, you know, the top dogs, and he's seeing what the top dogs can bring right now.
Yeah, it can be a different world when you're up at the top of the card. So 2 minutes remaining, round number 2. Schulte back in control of this fight. Clark trying everything that he could think of at this point to get out of the position that he's in. It's just Schulte doesn't even give an inch.
No, and he's laying it. He's in the half guard position. You know, he's staying busy. He's staying active. It's a hard position to get out from underneath. You know, Pura Vida was screaming for the a butterfly guard, and Schulte did a good job of shutting it down. And right now, Clark is eating some Schulte sandwiches, and those cannot feel very good.
Not at all. What can Clark do to try it and finagle his way out of this mess?
he's got to get out of the half guard position. He's either got to get to try and get to full guard and work for an arm bar, or a triangle off of his back, or wall walk. Schulte's just giving him no space to work at all. I mean, he's there's not much space between them, so Schulte doing a good job of negating any kind of offense that Clark would have off of his back.
Schulte with a dogged attack on Clark here in round number 2, as he has latched on to Clark like a pit bull does on a rawhide. I mean, he is just not letting up at all. And Clark, I mean, just has not been able to do any damage to Schulte at all.
None. To start the round off, he landed a nice couple shots, but JT did what he does best. Gets the takedown and just smashes.
And that's what he is doing to Clark right now. I know for a lot of the crowd, they're really wanting to see Schulte win, although Clark came with a pretty good contingent here as well. Sometimes when a lot of this grappling is going on rather than striking, the crowd can get a little bit quiet, as they are here. Again, this is a packed house at Monona Terrace, and the main event between Clark and Schulte will go to round number 3 on TVW. Second round action of our main event. Right there was the highlight of the night for Jordan Clark so far. Landed a good right hand that put Schulte down. I mean, that was flush, but Schulte was able to weather that storm and then mount the storm of his own right there, because once he got that big takedown of Clark, he just didn't let up at all, Peter.
Absolutely not. Clark got up and was visibly upset, screamed out an obscenity. I don't know if frustration is setting in. Schulte looks a little tired in the corner, so does Clark, so that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, Schulte with his mouth open to start round number 3. Clark, I mean, yeah, like you said, got up and shouted out the F word. I mean, he was really frustrated at the end of that round, and I think maybe he's not following his game plan. Maybe Schulte's not letting him. There's a better block right there by Clark of not allowing Schulte to come in and grab the leg.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to sprawl and brawl. He's got to see those shots coming in and put some leather on Schulte's face.
A little more focused round here by Clark, and again, trying to stave off that takedown, because once he goes down, he really doesn't have much of an answer, does Clark, as he's doing a little bit better job of it here in the second round, and now going for a submission on Schulte.
He's working for a Kimura there. He was able to get out of that position, but now Schulte's getting to the back again. Clark's not letting go of that Kimura.
Nope, still trying to hold on there as Schulte back to that side, and that's problems here for Clark for the rest maybe of this 4 minutes of the round. Good start to the round, a good 60 seconds for Clark, but now Schulte getting back into a familiar spot where he's had a lot of success so far.
Yeah, Clark's got to explode off this fence here. Use the fence to get out from underneath this.
He is trying his best to do it. Schulte, though, not letting him and continuing to dog Clark here. Clark trying to use his feet up against that fence to gain some kind of advantage. Right now, it's just not there.
Walk the fence and roll through. Let's go. We got no time. Let's go.
Corner trying to urge Clark on. Clark hoping for maybe a mistake from Schulte, anything to get free, something to get on his feet. Right now, he's just finding no success at all.
Strong corner right there from the Pure Vita corner. They said, we're not going to lose like this. We can lose a different way, but we're not going to lose like this. That's basically saying, hey, we know we're down 2 rounds. You got to get up. You got to do something. If we get caught, you know, in something else, that's okay. But at least we went for it. Again, right here, and Clark's back to his feet. So
got up to his feet. Big moment here for this
we'll see
third
what
round.
happens here.
That's where he needed to be, was on his feet.
Yeah.
Schulte maybe a little bit tired as well. As we take a look at him, Clark doing whatever he can. If he can get free, he's going to give himself a chance here in this third round.
Yeah. Schulte's just such a strong human being. It's just Clark just does not have an answer for it right now.
Clark trying to get that leg free. Now looking over Schulte, and he delivered an elbow as well. He's almost free. His corner really urging Clark on. Clark trying to break free of the hold, lands a right on Schulte, but Schulte just won't let go. And once again, the takedown, and Clark is in trouble, as that one was much to the chagrin of his corner.
Jordan, right back up. Short time. Let's go. Jordan, to the right.
Jordan Clark's got to be exhausted right now trying to get back on his feet.
Yeah, you know, and Schulte's doing a fantastic job of stuffing any attempt that Jordan has of, you know, getting separation and looking to land something.
Clark holding on here, just about the final minute of round number 3. The crowd also is urging both fighters on. There is blood over the eye of Jordan Schulte now, enough that it's actually getting into his eyes. Not sure where that came from.
No idea.
So kind of interesting here. Whatever Clark was able to do, he has bloodied the face of JT Schulte. Schulte continuing to hold on. The blood really spurting out right now onto the back of Jordan Clark. Clark cannot gain an advantage. Schulte just continues to stay on top.
Yeah, no, Jordan Clark is just getting outclassed here in certain positions. Schulte's been able to just stuff every attempt, every kind of reversal or sweep. This is one of those times where strength plays a factor in this. JT Schulte is just a juggernaut.
Final 10 seconds, here we go, as Clark trying to mount some kind of attack. It is just not gonna happen, as our main event reaches its conclusion. We believe was a one-sided affair. We will find out for sure when we get back to Chosen Few Fighting Championships here on TVW.
That, and then
here we go, checking out third round action, as Jordan Clark doing everything that he could just to stay alive in this. A lot of dominance by JT Schulte, but Schulte at least looks like he was in a fight. His face got bloodied up pretty good. In fact, Damian Decora, you see, working on the eyes right now of JT Schulte, trying to stop the bleeding, as you don't want your fighter's right hand raised while he's still spurting blood all over the place. It looks mostly like the left eye of Schulte caught the worst of it and is starting to goose egg up, along with the blood coming out. We think we know the winner. Let's make sure that we got it right, as the official decision is right now.
A round of applause for these two fighters. We go to the judges' scorecards for a unanimous decision. 30-26, 30-27, 30-27. All for your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, JT Schulte.
fight of the night.
JT Schulte, a winner in the main event, his first time at the top of the card, and he comes away victorious here in Chosen Few Fighting Championships. Number 21, the blood still coming out as Damian Decora will take a look at him as he will go ahead and talk with
JT,
Ken right now.
Man, you just, you wouldn't let him up.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna be good on his feet. I knew I had the wrestling advantage over him, so. But the game, it's a tough sport, so if you're winning, keep going.
Was he hitting you with some elbows from the bottom?
I think that was actually on the feet where he caught me right before I took him down. But yeah, nothing too bad on the bottom, so.
It's a tough kid.
Yeah, I actually knew that he had a baby girl, so I knew he was gonna be fighting for something. So I brought my own power with me. My sister's battling stage 4 cancer, so we don't live like we're dying, we fight every day for life.
Excellent point, my friend. Hey, it was a pleasure to watch you fight. You want to say something to anybody?
Oh yeah, thank you to all my family and friends out there. The big support, all of them, man. Yeah, I couldn't do it without them. There's so much that goes into this sport. You guys just see 1% right here. So there's a lot that goes into it, and all the help that I get is awesome.
Well, my friend, it was a pleasure. I'm sure I will see you again. JT Schulte, ladies and gentlemen.
Schulte, your winner by unanimous decision here at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 21. Peter and I will be right back to put a wrap on this one here on TVW.